I'm here with my grandparents, Sam and Nita Howarth. So first I'm going to ask you guys, in like what simple ways have you seen the environment change locally or around the whole world?
Mm-hmm. Well, locally, we live close to a lake up here at Salina, and it is like a lot of lakes in the world, it's getting kind of an algae growth. And we think the environment has changed, one thing, by building new homes around the lake and eliminating the wetlands. And number two, I think, is about in the 90s or sometime, they put scrubbers on the smokestacks to take the sulfur out of the air. And when we were getting acid rain, the rain come down and tied up the phosphorus in the soil. With the non-acid rain, the phosphorus gets fluid and goes right to the tiles, right to the lakes and streams and lakes. So I think that is part of our green algae in Lake Erie, our lake, and many other lakes around the world. That's my opinion. I understand the reason they did the scrubbers is to take the acid rain out so it wouldn't hurt the rainforest. I think that's the reason they did that, but it's really hurting our environment worldwide, not when we did that. I think that might be part of the problem.
So talking about our lake here in Salina, can you tell me a few things about, because that's a man-made environmental change, so good things, bad things, I think you said.
Our grandfather, what was his name, Nita?
George Michael Howard.
Yeah. He supposedly helped dig the lake in the 1800s for a canal. It's a canal lake. So it's 50 cents in a day and a jigger of whiskey or something, supposedly, was their pay. And your other grandpa's farm, Grandpa Godmiller, Coldwater Creek, they had to extend that also to make the banks higher. If they wouldn't have made Coldwater Creek higher, it would have flowed out into your field. So I don't know what that has to do with the environment.
That's okay.
Yeah, you can edit that.
I think we can't blame it all on these smokestacks and everything. As dairy farmers, we all have a part in this. Although we really try to be careful, we've been conservation minded for years. He used to be on the Soil and Water Conservation Board. But we all have more cows now. We don't just have a few cows, a few chickens, a few hogs. So you have more manure to take care of.
I think that's a good point. When I was young, when Dad and I, we forked manure out by hand, took it to the field, and didn't apply very much at a time.
But it was dry manure too. It wasn't.
Now we put massive amount of liquid manure, and you get a big rain, and it can flow.
So what different changes have you seen with people taking care of the environment? Like when you were younger, was it not as big of a deal? How has it changed with people actually like?
That's a good question.
Treating it better?
I think we're in a throwaway society now. A lot of plastics and plastic bottles.
Well, when we first started up, we didn't have drive-thrus. We didn't go through and pick up
food,
hamburgers or pop. And now there's a lot of it, and it's plastic, and some kids throw it out along the roads. But I remember our kids, I don't think, do that as much, because as 4-H kids, they had to clean up the side ditches every spring. So they know how much work it is to clean up somebody else's trash.
I know what it's like.
Yeah.
FFA every day.
I want to go back, the farmer. When I was younger, we plowed our ground, tilled it in the spring. No fall plowing, nobody fall plowed. Now with our larger operations, bigger equipment, a lot of the larger farmers have a lot to cover, so in the fall they till their ground and let this ground exposed to the environment, no cover. And I think that dirt soil flows to the rivers, and now we have to have our open ditches cleaned out more. We have no fence rows anymore, everything's, and so the little dikes around our fences, no more. So the rain just flows to the creeks. And
so a lot of it from Mercer County flows to Fort Wayne.
Yeah, it does.
Sorry.
To say,
Yeah.
Some of our land goes to St. Mary's River, and some of ours, we're on the Continental Divide.
Yeah.
Some of it goes to Lake Erie, and some of it goes to the Gulf of Mexico.
So as farms keep getting bigger and things like that, that's something
I think that's,
everyone's gonna have to
yeah.
watch out for. And as the population grows, there's gonna need to be more farms. So as the population grows, what do you guys think? Like we're gonna need to start doing.
Well, your dad's
Thinking about.
already doing it. He's sowing cover crops. That's the term, cover crops in the fall.
Yeah.
We remove our corn, soybeans, and silage, and then interseed it with a growing crop. So that's nice and green. You might show a picture of it out here.
So there's no bare dirt to
Yeah.
blow.
Yeah.
And then in the spring, we come in and harvest some of that for feed. And then number 2, we no-till. Don't tear it up, expose it, let the... I think that's one thing that we're doing, and some others are too, but it takes time to change that mentality.
And then like the average person that isn't involved in farming just needs to be watching out, not throwing their plastic in the ditches
right.
and
Recycling.
recycling.
Yeah.
Because earlier when we were talking, you said something about seeing the dump out here.
Yeah.
And how it's just
Mound. It's a huge
It's
mound.
huge,
Plus that-
yeah.
Yeah, huge mound.
so
Yeah.
okay.
Well, I think it's a good idea that the FFA kids have a recycling.
Yeah.
They're
Set
trying
up
to do a
once a
little.
month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think like you always see like the Adopt a Highway or like
Yeah.
try to help clean up, but there's not many programs that actually go out and do that.
No.
So that'd be nice to see.
The damage is already done. Then somebody threw it away, and somebody has to come back and.
Yeah.
But I think the fast food
Industry.
restaurants
It's
are
one of the
now, instead of
Yeah.
using styrofoam boxes, they're going to paper,
Yeah.
which will disintegrate.
Yeah. Because like you said, once damage has been done, then people want to make the
Yeah.
changes, which is kind of unfortunate, but at least
Yeah.
they're
So
going out trying to make the change.
on the news, sometimes we see these bays along the ocean, or it's just a lot of scummy plastic, and
Yeah.
The size of Texas,
Yeah.
isn't it?
that is really
And you see
Out
the
in the
pictures
ocean.
of
fish.
all the fish and
Yeah.
animals in
Or
there.
they ingest it, then they're full of plastic, and
Yeah.
they can't eat, and the big whales, and
The
Yeah.
so
plas-
we've hurt our environment, or our
Yeah.
environment, or
We're lazy, I guess.
no, I
Yeah.
don't know.
We don't
we
pick
didn't
stuff
know.
up
Yeah.
and put it away.
Okay. That should be good.
Well, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Chris. Really glad to be part of it.
That's it?
Yep.
That was